learning objectives today are how to pass your driving test. This is me. Testing is in session. I want to welcome you in. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be discussing management of visibility. Visibility is your ability to see and be seen. It refers to what you see behind the wheel, how well you see it, and the ability to see others. Beginning drivers need to learn to look left, the middle, and the right. Next question. Management of space, SPACE, refers to distance. In the beginning drivers take a long time to manage space. It's really important that you're patient, you take your time, and you encourage them to judge distance. Management of time refers to the ability to judge your speed, the speed of other vehicles, and highway users. If you have questions, type it in. Our learning objectives or learning targets, and we want success, is how to learn how to drive a car. If you're just coming in, I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach in the Midwest. This is me. Testing is in progress. I want to welcome you in. Anticipation of the actions of others. One way to control the risk is to anticipate drivers merging on the expressway, making right turns, people not using blinkers. A beginning driver has a difficult time judging distance and space. The components of the Highway Transportation System, or the HTS, include all of the following except animals. Animals do not belong on the road. A dog is an animal, a cat, a raccoon, deer. These animals are unpredictable, so we want to be mindful. We don't want to veer for the deer. Approximately how many licensed drivers use the HTS? It's about 194 million. Hey, if you're just joining this, class is in session. Testing is in progress. I want to welcome you. Our learning targets for success, learning how to drive. Next, collision is another word for crash. Head-on crashes are the most dangerous. Avoid those at any cost. Next, understanding choices and options. Let's think about this. One of the fundamental factors of effective driving is choices. Do you choose to go real fast? Do you choose to go slow? Do you choose to wear your seatbelt? All of these things impact your safety, your outcome, driving. The non-crash cost of driving includes operational cost, putting in gas, insurance, tires, the actual cost of the vehicle. I think a lot of beginning drivers forget the actual cost. You're really excited to get to drive, and I don't blame you, but you have to think of the operational cost. You need a job, J-O-B, if you want to be with me. The way you weigh benefits you receive from driving versus what driving a vehicle actually costs is the cost-benefit ratio. What do I mean? If you have an older car, that is 10 years old or older, the depreciation on the vehicle, how much the vehicle is worth, has pretty much dropped to its lowest point. A $10,000 car may end up being around $4,000. On the other end of the spectrum, the average cost of an American car is about $55,000. The depreciation hits in the first 3 years. That car may end up being worth about $42,000, $40,000 in about 3 years. So you need to plan on, do I want to buy a new vehicle with the new safety features or an older vehicle? If you just came in, our learning targets for success are how to become a good driver. What do you need to know? I'm a state certified driving instructor. This is me. Testing is in progress. I want to welcome you in. We just finished going over the cost-benefit ratio. You need to choose carefully. Next, environmental effects that have been linked to motor vehicles include snow, ice, rain. You as a driver need to weigh all of these factors when you're driving because every situation is a little bit different. You need to leave earlier. You need to allow for more time. You need to take your time. If everyone uses safety belts and helmets, the number of lives that would be saved this year would be about 10,000. There are states across the United States that allow motorcyclists to not wear helmets. If you have an accident, you're going to end up in a bad situation with a lot of insurance costs and hospital bills. The basic speed rule says that you should drive at a speed that is safest for the conditions. You want to be safe and reasonable for conditions on the road. If it's raining, you can get a ticket for driving the speed limit. If it's snowing, you could get a ticket for driving the speed limit. Why? You're not driving at a speed that is safe and reasonable for the conditions on the road. Let's talk about to obtain a license. Your state, whether it's Michigan, Texas, Oklahoma, Los Angeles, California, Hawaii, will test your knowledge of signs, signals, and pavement markings. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up. Our learning targets. Success. We are discussing what you need to know to become a good driver. Testing is in session. This is me. I'm a state certified driving instructor in the Midwest. I want to welcome you in. When purchasing a vehicle, you must register it with the state. If I live in Texas, I need to register it in Texas, where my residence is. If I live in Michigan, I need to register my vehicle in Michigan to show who is responsible for operating the vehicle. This is why it's important if you are an immigrant coming to the United States, you need to pass that test and obtain a learner's permit and then obtain your driver's license. Posted speed limit tells you the maximum speed you can drive under the conditions and the slowest speed. In some areas of the country, the speed limit is 75 miles an hour. The minimum speed could be 55 miles an hour. Slower moving traffic stays to the right. If you were driving with me, I need you to stay in the middle lane, L-A-N-E. The middle lane is the smoothest and the safest lane of travel. 7 states have enacted laws restricting the use of driving with cell phones. What statement is true? All of these. You need to have your driver's license. you need to have registration. And in some locations, you need to show proof of insurance to show that you're financially responsible if you have a crash. Which law has every state enacted that describes a person who operates a motor vehicle with a blood concentration level above the defined limit as being unlawful? Legal pre-C law. And I'm from the United States. That average is about 0.08. If you're just coming in, we're talking about beginning driver rules, laws you need to know. If you're 18 to 36, first-time driver. Our learning targets for success. Testing is in progress. This is me. I want to welcome you in. The higher the speed, the greater the chance of a rollover or skid. This is why you want to drive at the speed limit, not over the speed limit. Aggressive driving is the threat or safety of others. If you have questions, put them in. An example of reckless driving would be driving under the influence. Fixed speed limits do not change. In a neighborhood, 25 miles an hour, fixed. In a business district, 15 miles an hour, fixed. The purpose of regulatory sign is to control the movement of traffic. The shape of most regulatory signs is a vertical rectangle. As you approach a yield sign, you should be slowing down and checking oncoming traffic, left, right, and left. On multi-lane roadways, railroad traffic crossing the roadway will be marked by crossbucks, a yellow background, black crossbuck with an RR and flashing lights and bells. When you see a pedestrian or school zone sign, you must slow down and proceed with caution. Shared left turn lanes mean that all vehicles moving in either direction can use this lane to turn left. There's an inside left turn lane and an outside left turn lane. Stay in your appropriate lane. You cannot pass on a road with two solid double yellow lines dividing the roadway. Double dash yellow lines on the pavement indicate a reversible lane. If this brought you value, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I will be going live later this evening about 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. Bye.